I just received a text from somebody very, very close to the situation in Philadelphia. He doesn't work, he doesn't listen, and everyone around him is family, and he's constantly babied.
I'm not going to lie. This Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid stuff has kind of been going on for a while. And what I mean by this Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid stuff is, for a while, we kind of collectively as basketball fans have questioned if these two can coexist on the basketball floor, with Ben Simmons simply refusing to shoot the basketball. Now, I've seen a lot of takes about, well, Ben Simmons just needs to shoot. Well, the truth is that he has to do more than just start shooting the basketball. He has to put in hours upon hours of work, because right now, Ben Simmons isn't even a good free throw shooter. As a matter of fact, Ben Simmons just took the record for worst free throw percentage in a series from none other than Shaquille O'Neal. As bad as Shaq was, he had the infamous saying, "I make them when they count." This was pretty much Shaq saying, in big moments, you can count on him. Look, regardless of whether you could count on Shaq or not, at least he had a dominant offensive game to compensate his poor free throw shooting. Shaq is one of the most unstoppable forces to ever touch the basketball floor. With that being said, I could probably shoot better free throws than Shaq with my elbows. Let me chill, that's big talk coming from a poor free throw shooter. I'm one of those guys that could light it up from the three, but when it comes to the free throw line, I'll probably give you like 65%. While we're here, Shaq was definitely not a fan of Ben Simmons' play in the 76ers Hawks series.
I like what he said, but if you like, you can't say, it don't take 7 games for you to know you are not playing right. Get right.
He can't.
He's not getting double teamed. Get right. Be aggressive. That's all I want. Just be aggressive.
Shaq said it doesn't take 7 games to get right, and while Shaq is right, let's just keep that same energy for Doc Rivers, who is kind of somehow flowing a little under the radar for his poor coaching this series.
The Atlanta Hawks knocking off the Philadelphia 76ers.
If he was in my locker room, I'd have knocked this out.
To 96.
Okay.
You do what?
I ain't laughing. What you mean, what?
He's in his locker room.
While Shaq is right, Ben Simmons does need to be aggressive. We have been asking Ben Simmons to be aggressive for what is 4 to 5 years now. Everybody knows that Ben Simmons has tools that many basketball players could only dream of, and that he kind of just needs to use them. Quick question, does anybody actually think that Shaq would knock out Ben Simmons? I'm just going to assume that what Shaq meant by that is he would make sure that Ben Simmons would come out being aggressive. But yeah, anyways, Shaq hasn't been the biggest Ben Simmons fan. And to be fair, after last night, it feels like nobody really is. I mean, hey, I still support Simmons. I think he's a dog. I would love him in New Orleans, but I'd love anybody in New Orleans. I'm pretty down bad. It's a cold world for a Pelicans fan. Word to Trae Young. The process has been going on in Philly for a while now. No Sam Hinkie, no problem. Or so one would think. While I don't have time to go through the full process of this video, there is one move in particular that I want to focus on. And that move? Yeah, you guessed it. That move is the Philadelphia 76ers trading for Jimmy Butler. At the time of this trade, you could say that Jimmy Butler's value was its lowest. Jimmy Butler had built a reputation of toxicity, or just taking things too far with his teammates. The Jimmy Butler Minnesota situation got so out of hand at one point that Jimmy Butler got on ESPN to address the entire situation and say, yeah, I basically did all of that stuff. I just wanted to win. If guys are soft, they're soft. That's not my problem. I mean, look at this smirk from Jimmy when the interview starts. You can't tell me this is the smirk of a guy that has good intentions. Anyways, this whole situation kind of tanked Butler's value, and the 76ers took full advantage by trading Robert Covington, Dario Saric, Jarrett Bayless, and a 2022 second-round pick for Jimmy Butler and Justin Patton. My dad always used to say that there was a sucker born every day, but I really didn't believe him until I saw this trade. But then again, what other choice did the Minnesota Timberwolves have? Once things got going, Jimmy Butler would be an immediate impact player for the Philadelphia 76ers. They now had a guy that they could go to in close games. Butler was clutch, and he was big on the defensive end. But most importantly, He was a primary ball handler that was not afraid to shoot the ball. Despite questionable coaching and mounting frustration, the 76ers were legit. Many people thought that this version of the 76ers was the 76ers' best chance to win a championship. To be fair, I think they were closer than a lot of people think. My question to you guys is, were they better than the current 76ers? And if so, what's the difference? The reason that I bring up this version of the Philadelphia 76ers is because according to league sources, Simmons' frustration at being relegated to off-ball duty during the team's 2019 second-round loss to the Raptors contributed to the front office's decision to not re-sign Jimmy Butler. To dumb things down a little bit, the team basically chose Ben Simmons over Jimmy Butler. That might not be a fair way to view things because the reality is things really didn't have to be like that. But hey, at this point, I guess it is what it is, and the damage is done. But part of me wonders, how much of that damage are we not seeing? Jimmy Butler and Joel Embiid are boys. There's no secret that these two have a fantastic relationship. We've seen Jimmy Butler trying to recruit Joel Embiid to Miami. Regardless of whether the efforts were valid or not, this is something that still happened. If this report is true, part of me also wonders, does Joel Embiid hold any of this against Ben Simmons? Now look, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Joel Embiid is going to leave the Philadelphia 76ers. He literally just said how much he loves Philly and played on a torn meniscus to try to bring this team a championship. Joel Embiid isn't going anywhere, but I'm sure Joel has to feel some type of way about potentially risking his career when his teammate won't even risk missing a jump shot or even risk going up for a dunk when left uncontested. Look at Embiid's reaction to Ben Simmons passing up this layup/dunk. Look, I wasn't a psych major, but I didn't have to be, I don't have to be, to tell you guys that Embiid is visibly frustrated here. After the game, Embiid said, "I'll be honest, I thought the turning point was when I don't know how to say it, is when we had an open shot and we made one free throw." Now, of course, this isn't the first time that Embiid's been frustrated with Simmons not shooting the ball. If we go back to last January, Embiid said, "We just have to look at ourselves and see what we can do better individually. We've got to help each other, even if it means being outside of your comfort zone for the greater good, to help the team win." Meaning that if you've got space to shoot it, you've got to do it. We need everybody to buy into that, and we'll be fine. We're going to be fine. I honestly wish I had teammates like Joel Embiid at LA Fitness. My teammates always tell me to get in the post. Yeah, I'm tall, but I mean, I could shoot. Come on now. And who wants to be posting up at LA Fitness anyways? Right now, serious question. Would you rather Ben Simmons or Markelle Fultz? I'm obviously still taking Ben, but hey, Fultz has been looking kind of tough in Orlando. While Doc kind of threw a jab at Ben in his press conference, and I didn't really like that, I think Ben kind of needed that, especially considering Ben says his weakness is that he needs to have somebody make him accountable. Ultimately, he said he wants to make himself more accountable, but hey, sometimes you need that push. Now, Doc came out today and the press conference was more positive, but look, I'm just going to put some tweets and stats on the screen, and look, I'm going to let you guys make of these tweets and stats what you may. I'm not even going to read them. I'm not going to read it off because y'all are going to call me a hater. Part of me has always felt that Joel and Ben have always kind of had a weird relationship. Whether there's something there or not, I think it's safe to say that Ben could benefit from a change of scenery, possibly somewhere where the lights aren't as bright and a team is tailoring to his style of play. I've always thought Ben being a small ball center could be devastating, especially with the direction that the league is headed. But at the same time, if the 76ers were to trade Ben right now, his value is probably its absolute lowest. I wonder what a Ben Simmons trade could possibly get you. CJ McCollum? Let me know your best trade offers for Ben Simmons down in the comments below. Do you guys think the 76ers would have won a championship if they were able to trade for James Harden or Kyle Lowry? Do you guys think Ben Simmons is going to remain in Philly this offseason? Is Doc Rivers getting enough blame? Could we finally be looking at the end of the process? People took this as a dismissive interview from Ben, but personally,
do you feel like you played your last few minutes here in Philadelphia?
I feel like we just lost game 7. Offensively, I wasn't there. I ain't doing enough for my teammates. There's a lot of things I need to work on.
I took it as a guy that has a lot of weight on their shoulders. Oh yeah, and there's been talk about Ben possibly shooting with the wrong hand. What do you guys think about this? Personally, I think there's a chance we could see a completely different Ben Simmons next season.
I mean, I feel like I found my guys tonight, which I during the regular season regardless. You know, with the trade, I think.
Yeah, he was terrible.
Yeah.
5 for 23.
Yeah, he had a tough night.
But that's pretty wishful thinking. Clicking the video on the screen right now is a great way to support my channel. I'm Get Like Coop, bringing you guys the scoop until our next upload.